Welcome back to the Late Chess Podcast. And with me, it's the doctor.
Hello, hello, hello. It's nice to be in the building.
Wow, you really came with the energy on that one there, buddy.
I'm low key.
Doctor,
You
it's
know what
one of our
that's you know
favorite
what that's called?
series. What?
You know what that's called?
What's that?
Cool.
Oh, yeah. Well, the world knows that's not me. So, Doctor, it's our
Yes,
series. It's back.
I love it. That
The Tao of Chess is back. Oh, Doctor. He's doing his karate chop. All right. Chapter 7. We're working our way through this book at a pretty decent pace here. We're up to chapter 7 now. That's pretty nice.
all right.
Something that admittedly both of us still are in the process of learning.
Lay it
But
on me.
according to this, the 7th chapter in the Tao is pawn structures. What do you think about when you think pawn structures?
I have no idea. I didn't think we were going to do pawn structures.
Oh, well, we are. It's chapter 7. We don't skip.
Okay.
We're doing pawn structures. So pawn structures to me is
Yeah, lay it on me because I'm still not completely
obviously
uh,
it's the way the pawns are arranged on the board. Got that.
right.
No problem. Much past that, I start getting fuzzy because I don't know. Like I keep hearing about this Catalan structure, and I keep hearing about these. So I think it has something to do with the uh obviously it's the arrangements of the pawns, but I think it has something to do with the way the openings interact.
Right.
So the first few of these I feel much better about, but as we get further down this path in pawn structure chapter, I think I'm going to be less and less useful. But however, one of the reasons that we decided back in the beginning to do the Tao of Chess was these things are principles and guidelines that as you get better will mean more and more to you. So we thought, hey, at the level we're at, let's go over where we think these are. And if you're more advanced player, probably higher rated player, you may have more to say about these things. Please let us know at latechess@gmail.com. Or if you're um, not quite where we are just yet, perhaps these are things that you can see like, oh, these guys are just a little bit better than me. We feel bad for you if you are, because we're not good. But
No.
this is what we see it as, and maybe this will be like enlightening for you to see like, oh, I never really thought about that way. So longest intro ever to the chapter that we're going to do probably the worst job of talking about, but pawn structures. So what the chapter starts off with in a reading from the Tao of Chess. The pawn structure provides the clues to any possible future plans. It's because of peculiar weaknesses of the pawn in that it cannot move backwards or sideways, so they stay in their places and it gives opportunities to either attack or protect. Okay. So, principle number 30. Passed pawns must be pushed.
Yes.
I know you know that one. So what are you
Yes.
thinking about passed pawns must be pushed, sir?
Well, I mean, well, I think that it's right on that you have to. I mean, if you want to promote, you got to push the pawn, and if you have a pass pawn, you need to pay attention to that, and you need to protect it if you can,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, I can't tell you how many pawns, because I'm terrible at it, how many pawns I've lost. Um, because somebody, I'm doing 5 million things instead of trying to focus on this one, pushing this pawn and protecting this pawn. I'm not good at multitasking in chess,
No.
and getting that pawn all the way down to promote it. It's glorious when it happens, but
Yeah.
um, you know,
Well,
yeah,
when you trade off pieces, like, lots of games will go that way. Like there's tactical things where you get to like take pieces or get an advantage, but a lot of times if the two players are fairly even, it'll end up being like you trade this, I trade that, you trade this, I trade that. And you start running out of pieces, so it gets hard to finish the game. But if you can promote a pawn from being a lowly little peon 1 point pawn to a 9 point queen, that's usually a game over or really
Right.
close to it. So that's why it's so critical is that you go from a fairly even, less powerful army to a not even queen advantage, which is usually enough to win the game. So past pawns must be pushed is words to live by there, and protect your pawns by putting your rook behind it. Uh, look at ways that the promotion square is either not defended or not defendable, or ways that you can make it so that they have to either sacrifice a piece in order to stop your pawn from promoting, or and that can be the difference in the game too.
Where I struggle when it comes to this idea of the passed pawn is which to pay attention to which side is I can do that,
Hmm.
queen side or king side is easiest to do that.
Hmm.
And two, excuse me, and two, which pawn to push
Yep. It's
and
nice
when to
if they're a
push it.
pair, right? It's like if they're right
Yeah,
next to each other. Yeah.
a lot of times that's been the case, and I'm like, okay, so you got to think about it. And when I think about it and take my time,
Yeah.
I can work it out. But sometimes, if I don't take my time and I struggle with trying to decide which pawn to push.
Right. And then the whole thing about the whether the king is in the square for a promotable pawn, that's a
Right.
big deal. So you want to explain that one?
Right. No, but you can.
Oh, great. Thank you. So if you draw an imaginary square that one of the corners is the pawn that you're talking about, and the other uh, three sides of the square are the two lines from the pawn to the promoting rank, and then to the side you get a square. Let's say if the pawn's on D4, it's a 5 by 5 square. It goes from D4 to D8 to H8 to H4. That's a square. Now, if the king on their move can get to anywhere inside that square, then that pawn is not able to solo promote. It's able to be stopped by the king. It may not be
Right.
stopped by the king, but it's geometrically it's capable. The king has enough moves to get there. But if the king is outside of that, then that pawn is unstoppable by the king. If the king is the only major piece that the opposing king have. Is that clear? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
It's clear in my head.
Yeah. No. No, it is, and I think, but it also depends. Part of that, I remember learning that is one of the things that I took me a while to get to is you have got to make your king active
Yes.
and get in between that
Ideally,
king
yes. Yeah.
if you can. And so, and that's, I think, too, a struggle. Is like, okay, well, I know we're not talking about end games, but
In game opposition,
per
yeah.
se, but yeah, it's like, okay, I need to, when do I start? When are we in the end game? And when do I start thinking about making this, putting this king in the right place and in a proper position so that I can push and then promote
Yep.
my pawn?
And people argue about when the end game starts, but some of the
Yeah.
ways that people define it is as soon as the queens come off the board, you're in the end game. Well, I don't know. And
What
I've
that
seen,
happens in the seventh move.
yeah, no, or the third. Um, and
That
then
too.
another person said when the queens are off the board and there's less than 15 or 16 points of material. Okay, maybe. I
Yeah.
don't know. It's kind of like one of those things, and you can argue about it, but in the end, there's not. To me, it's not a huge difference between the middle game and the end game. It's kind of this is definitely middle, this is definitely end, and then there's this zone of it's somewhere in between, and you know it when you see it. It's fine. So
Like when you're down to only one major piece and pawns and a
yeah,
king,
that's
you're in the end
definitely
game.
end game. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, yeah. And once Thanos snaps his fingers, oh wait, sorry.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Okay. So principle number 31. Double pawns are a weakness in that they are immobile, but they are a strength in that they offer half open files for rooks. You often hear the double pawn thing weakness part, but you don't often hear the second part.
Yeah,
That's why we read the Tao of chess.
that's right. I've never necessarily thought it was a weakness. uh, Well, that's not true. It depends on how they are doubled.
One's in front of the other one.
Well, if one is just right in front of the other one,
Yes,
that's problematic. But if
could be.
one is on, D3 and then one is on D5,
Uh-huh.
or D6, right? Not
Hmm.
necessarily a bad thing, depending on where the other, your opponent is.
No, and they do defend a bunch of squares along the
Yeah,
neighboring files,
yeah.
ranks, files. Sometimes I get those
And
wrong.
I always wonder too. I always wonder if there's any discussion about if you have doubled pawns on, let's say, the D file.
Right.
Is that worse or better than having double pawns on the G file?
Or the H.
Or, I'm not sure. I'm always wondering, I always think about the rooks on what is it? I always forget how we say that. Rooks on the end, rooks on the edge. What is that called?
Uh,
You
oh
know,
yeah,
where
you haven't given me enough yet.
if you put it on, the A file or the H file, or
Oh,
rooks on the rim or dim.
knights on the rim are dim.
Yeah, no, yeah, not rook. Sorry, knights.
His brother
Knights on
knight.
the
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Knights, sorry. I don't know why I said that. Knights on the rim or dim. And I'm wondering if that's also the case, or is there a better, you know, are double rooks less bad, uh, depending on where they are.
Double pawns. Double rooks are good. Double pawns.
Double pawns, daggone it.
You're you've been podcasting too much.
I think I've been drinking too much of this stuff.
It's water, by the way, in case you're watching. Um, so one of the things that people don't talk about enough is the potential ability to defend more that the double pawns could be. So they may not be
Mm.
bad. And the thing that bothers me most about double pawns, you ready?
All
I
right.
know people, and you might know one too, who will not take a piece because it will double their pawns.
Ooh, probably a very principled player.
It would be. It would be. I've
Oh,
seen rumors of these people existing. Take
yes.
the piece.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right. Right, but I hear that, but that goes back to what I said earlier in the number 30.
Yep.
I'm not sure sometimes whether to take or to push. Yeah, and it's not because it's funny. I don't
Well,
think
that's a
because I'm
pawn
not
versus a
thinking.
pawn, though, not a pawn versus a piece. I mean, there are places where you don't take the piece. I get that. I'm not saying 100% just take the piece, but in general, take the piece.
All right, I don't. I have to think more about that
Like if it's
because
a
I'm always
pawn on
struggling.
pawn violence, then pushing is one of the options. But
Yeah, I mean that's I guess what I'm thinking about mostly.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, if it's a pawn ain't a rook, yeah, I'm going to take the rook. I don't care if it's triple pawns.
I'm gonna look to see like, can I take the rook or is there checkmate? I'm gonna check for other things, but the
Yeah,
odds
yeah.
are I'm taking the rook. You know,
Yeah, right. It's right. It's right. Well, he has quadruple pawns, but
but he's
he
got.
took the queen.
It's kind of like I used to have a chess coach, and he's like, there's the principle of don't move a piece twice in the beginning until you get all your pieces developed. But he's like, if they leave their queen and you have to move your bishop for a second time, take the queen.
Take the queen. For the love of Pete, take the queen.
You know,
I hear
th-
you.
these are principles, not laws. So
Yeah. And so for all you principled players out there, relax a little. Take a chance.
yeah,
Take
sometimes
the queen.
sometimes the principle is good, but it's not 100% of the time. So you back it up with calculation and say, hey, am I gonna move my knight for a second time to get a fork of the king and the rook? Okay, that seems worth it. I'll break a
Yeah.
principle to get 5 points.
Not that we don't know anybody like this, but
Nope.
if we did,
If
this is
we
what
if this is you, please write in to late to Jess.
at gmail.com and let us know your opinion of the principal versus
This is a,
take the queen.
this is another book, another shirt we need. Just take the rook.
This is take the rook for the love of God.
Yep. Well,
All
principal
right,
is not worth 5 points. Okay. Principle number 32.
32.
Look to liquidate backward and isolated pawns. When I first saw this and I was reading this book, I never really thought about it. I always looked to defend them, or I always looked to attack them if they were somebody else's. Obviously, I don't attack my own pawn. That's
Right, right, right.
you know, I'm not that tall. But then I started thinking about it. If you could liquidate it for, let's say, an exchange of pawns or something similar, that's not a bad plan. There's some wisdom in this principle.
I guess I'm thinking that it depends on what side,
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, it's
you
not
know.
a
Yeah,
just
it's not
just
just
throw them to the wolves.
universal. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it just depends on, yeah, you know, where your attack is happening, where their attack is happening, and yeah.
Yeah, because they mentioned in the book that talking about opening diagonals for bishops or files and ranks for rooks or maybe
Right.
even like night posts and things like that and as ways to do that. So you're kind of you know I don't know if it's technically going to be called a pawn sacrifice, but if it's pretty much dead and it gives you some more powerful maneuvers for your other pieces, it's worth getting rid of it.
It's interesting to me though how we talk about being principled and but how that changes throughout, like not just throughout a game but throughout your growth in
Mhm.
chess, because for the longest time we talk about in the beginning, don't lose your
Yeah.
coconuts.
Hold those coconuts. And then we
Hold
start
those
talking about
coconuts.
compensation.
Compensation, that's right. He owes you compensation, or she owes you compensation, whatever.
You
um
didn't get enough compensation, or you did get
right, right, and so i i i, when you said that, I'm like, well, at a certain level you need to learn to hold on to your coconuts, and then as you progress, maybe you're okay. Yeah, I'm gonna set, whether it's pawn sacrifice, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna liquidate this, and it's gonna open it up for a better attack on this side, whatever it is. Whatever your strategy or plan is. I need more space. I need to get rid of this, whatever.
Yeah.
Uh,
I think I'm more willing to, liquidate the piece when I see that there's something for it. Like I don't just want to give it away, you know. But
yeah,
if I can see like I've got more activity for my other pieces, or I've got a tactic coming in, or when I see something there. Otherwise, I'm going to try to defend it. I'm at the level where I'm going to want to defend it unless I see something or I can calculate something that says, this will
right,
work out for me.
right. Because the major people, they're sometimes I'll see them, let this a piece go, and I'm like, but they're thinking,
6 moves,
10,
7.
11, 12, 12 moves down the road.
Yeah.
Uh,
I
this
guess
is going to happen.
I
And
guess
so
what
they're
I'm
willing to
thinking
give
is
it
like
up.
when you get like an edge pawn going towards a king and it's in the way of your rook, if you can get
Yeah.
rid of it, you're not blocking your rook anymore and your rook's kind of open towards the king again. I can see that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
All right. Principle number 33. We're talking about pawn structures still. Fewer pawn islands means a healthier position. Obviously, the best way to have fewer pawn islands is to have all 8 pawns without any doubled. I have one island. I'm like fantasy island, but you start losing pawns most of the time.
Oh, yeah.
they're not people anyway, so who cares?
Yeah, so who cares, right? They're not people or pieces.
That's right. They're not even pieces.
I don't even know why we have them. I think we should have, freestyle 180.
That's right. No
No
pawns.
pawns.
No pawns. Just mix everything up with no pawns.
That's it. Put them on any square, even the other side. It doesn't matter.
There we go. I'll be fine. So I guess the thought is trying to keep your pawns together because that way they can defend each other and
Right.
trying to keep them not isolated because there's like the isolated queen pawn. Otherwise, the cool guys, the people with podcasts that say late to chess with two as a number, the IQP. Ooh,
Ooh, the IQP.
yeah, there's that. So you
It
don't want
sounds
to
like
have those.
it sounds like an ice cream sandwich.
Yeah. And then, yeah, I know from DQ.
Or the
Um,
QP.
so the more your pawns are kind of together, they seem to be happier and stronger, and the more separated they are, the weaker they get. Because if you have a gap, let's say you have a gap on a D or an E file, then um, the pawns just to the side of the gap can only be defended by one other pawn. They don't have two pawns, so
Right.
um, it gives you a little bit less um, stable structure, I guess. Speaking of structures, you know what I found out that was one of the keys that helped me progress a little bit? The coordination of all the pieces, like not having a piece just out there loose, you know?
Yes.
All right. It's amazing how much easier life is when you don't have to go run around saving things all the time. Anyway,
Yes.
we're on pawn structures, but I digress. But then again, it's a podcast.
Sorry.
It's what we're supposed to
That's
do.
right. That's right.
Anything good on pawn structure islands? You got anything?
Yeah, what I was thinking is how I wonder if people, depending on whatever their openings are, I wonder do they do they have the same pawn structure? At least I don't know how I want to put it. I get my pawn structures after the opening seem to always look like they just went through a minefield, and they're not very.
One's Lieutenant Dan, one's
Yeah. It's just, because I see these games, I go over games, Masters game, no, just a lot of people, right? Your games, I look at, and I'm like, I don't know, the pawn structures are, the pawns are in the. I would never say the pawn structure, so I take that back. I
yeah.
say,
I was
man,
gonna
the
say
pawns
you're
are
gonna say
looking.
that? No.
Yeah, the pawns look. These pawns look great. They're in the right place. They're not blocking anything. Like I'm always having to adjust and
Yeah.
fix, you know.
Well, I mean, if you can keep the pawns connected and together, then you don't have to waste a piece
Right.
protecting something.
Yeah.
Like it
I think
always
that's, I mean,
it seems weird when you have like a let's say a isolated queen pawn and you got like four different pieces whacking at it from one side and you got five
right,
different pieces whacking at it from the other side. You got like 20 pieces of material on each side going after this one piece pawn. It's like
right,
so
yeah, right. Yeah,
there's got to be something better to do with your pieces, you know?
right. I always just think to myself, like, oh my goodness, how am I? And that's where I came up with. I know I joke about this, everybody, and Jesse cracks up when I say it, but that's how I get because my pawn structures are so turned into such crap. I came up with that. Well, I'll get it back.
I'll make
I'll
another one.
get that. I'll make another pawn.
I'm gonna promote a pawn. What would happen if you promoted a pawn to a pawn? Would you just sit
Can you
there
do
and
that?
I don't know. I don't see why you can't. Be dumb.
Well, yeah, I guess.
But just sit there and look at the look at the end of the board.
That's right. Look at me. I made it all the way to the other side and I didn't have to change.
That's right. That's right. Remember
I was
that one
still I was still worthless.
remember that one game I showed you with the what Amon did with the eight different
Oh
pawns?
my, oh my goodness. I would have to throw fists after that game.
So
The more the more I thought about it, the more I'm like, if that ever would happen, like an OTB, oh my god, I don't know how that guy would get out of there if he did that to somebody on OTB. I
so it
don't
was
see it. I see. Go ahead.
it was one of the speed runs that Amon Hamilton does on Chess Bras. I watched it a couple times, and then I told Doctor about it, and I never remembered to see it. So then I found a short snippet on it, and I showed it to him. What happens is he's playing this game, and the guy just won't resign. And Amon decides, okay, if you won't resign, I'm going to make you feel pain. So he's got like two or three pieces, and then he's got however many more pawns he needs. That so what he does is he promotes every single pawn to the piece that he needs it to be to have the exact back rank fold. And then he maneuvers his pieces around to such a way that he forces the opponent's king to come down to, I think it was either C2 or D2. It was forced to go there. And when it got there, it was in checkmate. So it was in checkmate with his king sitting right next to the other king. And the rook, the knight, the bishop, the queen, the king were all where they should be to start the game. And it was checkmate. And he did it in like 3 or 4 seconds of pre moves. It was amazing.
Yeah, it was that was the amazing part. Not that he did it, is that he did it like with less than 7 seconds.
Yeah, it was all pre moves.
It's amazing, which I don't even know what that means. I know you've told me about it, but I don't know. I don't know how. What does that mean? I don't know. How do you pre-move?
So when you're low on time, you can click a piece and pre-move it, and then click it to move again, or click another piece to pre-move it without your opponent playing. And then as soon as your opponent plays on chess.com, it takes 1/10 of a second. It just deducts that, but your
But what?
piece
But
instantly moves.
but what
And
if
you
it's
can,
the wrong move?
well, if it's not allowed, or like if
Oh, like you blunder though. What if you pre-move that you're going to go this space and he?
the only time it'll stop a pre-move is if the pre-move is not possible. Like if you say move this piece
Oh,
to here and it's not possible. But if you pre-move, move my queen to B2, and the opponent can take your queen on B2, sucks to be you.
interesting.
So
Hmm.
you can do that, and so you can get a lot of moves in. Like in 3 seconds, you can get in 29 moves because the 30th move you'd run out of time. So he pre-moved the entire thing. It was amazing. Anyway, that has nothing to do with pawn structures, but it was quite fun.
Yes. Where are we?
We're on principle number 34. If you must accept a pawn weakness, make sure that you get some compensation in one form or the other, or another, sorry. So this is where we start reaching the limit of me understanding exactly what this is. I have an idea what compensation is, but I'm not sure I really know what compensation.
Right. Isn't it compensation? You're getting something for that.
Yes, you're getting something for that, but what are those somethings and how to quantify the something to see if
Right.
it's enough to give away a pawn or to give away a pawn weakness or
I've got an idea. I've
you do?
got an idea.
Oh, an idea. Tell me.
All right, audience. I hope you're listening.
Uh-huh.
If you can tell us in 3 sentences what compensation is and does,
Maybe
you
some
will get,
examples would be great.
and with some examples, you will get 4 free chess books. Two definitely will be opening books, and then 2 other books. And whoever gets to us first with those 3 points gets the books.
Yep.
And where do they write?
Late to chess at gmail.com.
As you can tell, we're trying to have a purge. If you've listened to the last few episodes,
Doctor is divesting some books. Let me
yeah,
guess. Will
just
one of them be on the French opening?
imagine that. In fact, it will be. There will be a book on French, maybe 2 on French if you're really into French. So if you're into the French, let us know it along with your sentence, your 3 sentences, and I'll make sure that there's more than one French book in there.
Listen, you may be able to get 4 French books if that's really what you want.
Yeah, yeah. Tell me, yeah, if you want 4 French books. And here's the funny part: do I play the French?
Nope.
No,
Did you play the French? Yes. Did you know it was the French? No.
no. So there you go.
All right. So
Get some free books, people. I
that's
got
right.
too many.
He does. I do too, but I'm not giving them away yet. My wife hasn't
No,
gotten
no.
mad at me.
He's greedy. He's greedy.
All right. Here's the couple sentences that made the most sense to me. You don't
Okay.
want to give anything away without at least getting something in return. I'm not sure what those things are, but I have ideas. Any weakness or poor position that you accept has to be accompanied by some compensating strength or a good position elsewhere. Otherwise, you have done nothing but take a losing proposition. That sounds like my game in general,
Hmm.
but
I
compensate.
wonder what. Yeah, yeah. I wonder what is. I mean, like if you is so compensation can't be an equal trade, or is it?
Well, it could you could lose a pawn or take a isolated pawn or maybe a
Okay,
double
yeah.
pawn, but you need to get something in return. Like don't just give it away for nothing. Like, you know, I don't know.
So compensation can be positional. It doesn't have to be
Hmm. Doesn't have to be
piece.
material.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. But if it's a queen, take the queen.
Hey, for the love of God, take the queen.
Oh, I'm gonna double my pawns, but but I got a queen. Okay. You know what, doctor? You know what the best part about this is?
What?
We're going to be good at the next couple chapters because these are things we know about. One is on space and one is on tempo. You know, we got those down.
My goodness, if I get drilled on tempo and space anymore,
So we'll do much better at the next couple chapters of Tower Chess.
yes,
Hopefully, you guys tolerated us on pawn structures. Admittedly, a weak spot for the doctor and I, but
yes.
we did okay. I think we didn't do great. I think we probably have to go to summer school on this one. I'm not sure we got a passing grade.
No, but if you would like to help us pass and share your knowledge
That's right.
about pawn structure where we got it wrong, where can they contact us?
Late to chess at gmail.com. And if it's a good email, doctor might give you four chess.
I might give you another 4 books. You know, my wife has drawn the line in the
That's right.
sand. I
The
must make some space. And it's not, don't feel bad for me because they're mostly just doubles.
That's right. And it's not like, the doctor's house isn't sinking in the snow globe due to the weight of all the books.
That's right. That's right. It's right. That's exactly right. So don't feel bad. I get to be generous with these chess books.
There you
So
go. That's right. All right. Very good, Doctor. Tower Chess. Another one in the books. We got a couple more to do. Actually, we got a lot more to do. I think how many chapters are there in this thing? Oh my goodness, there's a bunch. We got 22 chapters, and then the second part, we got, whew,
the second part, oh
yeah,
my
there's another
goodness.
part. Oh, wait.
Well,
The
we got
second part has
another
another 20 chapters. And you know what my favorite one is?
what?
Chapter 42, Excuses.
Oh wow.
We could talk for a
Wow.
while there.
That'll be great.
Yeah, that'll
That'll be
give us something to
great.
look for. So
And it
right
and it
now,
can be yeah, and it can be a positive excuse like I'll get it back.
that's right. Don't worry, I'll make another one. So
I'll
we're
make
we're
another
in chapter 7 of Technical Matters. We have 22 chapters within that, and then in the Human Matters, the first chapter being Know Thyself or Know Yourself, sorry. And then we have 20 chapters of human things. So I'm going to have to take the lead on these technical matters. And then once we get to the human matters, I'm just reading the book for you and you are taking over because I
one.
don't,
I'm all about the feelings.
I don't recognize any of these human limitations.
Exactly. Exactly. As it should be.
That's right. So if you want to feel the pain of me going through chapters with the word human in the first part, it's coming soon.
He's gonna if we start talking about feelings in chess, Bill's gonna break out in hives.
Human, let's see, is there feelings in here? Know yourself,
Uh,
know your opponent, seeing ahead. So far, I'm good. Courage, it's borderline. Opportunity, trust. Oh, oh boy.
oh,
Mistakes, I've had a few. Reaction, fighting spirit, moment of decision, using time, thinking, concentration, patience. Patience. I don't have time for that chapter.
but yeah, Bill's too busy.
We got stuff to do. Luck. Oh, luck's in here. That's good. We were talking about that a little
I,
bit.
I can do that one.
Yep. Practice, study, passion, passion.
Passions.
Oh,
What kind of baloney is this?
God, I can feel the energy being sucked out of my pores.
Huh?
Knowledge and excuses. Excuses I can deal with.
Yeah, no, yeah, right. He's ruthless. There is,
That's right.
anytime you make an excuse, he's just like, "Oh,
Face it, you
what's wrong with you, doctor? Just, yeah, just deal with it. Move
That's,
on.
that's right. Don't
So,
worry about it. We got
my world's
stuff.
coming to an end. Gosh, suck it up.
That's right. Hike up the big boy pants.
That's it. That's it. And no mercy in this.
Nope.
There's no mercy in chess.
There's no mercy. There's no crying in baseball.
That's right.
That's right.
That's a good imitation. Very good.
That's right. So, Doctor, Tower Chess in the books.
All right. Don't forget, write in late to chess at gmail.com.
That's right.
Get some books.
That's
Help
right.
me out.
That's
Keep my marriage solid.
That's right. Still offering the inscriptions if you need to. You can personalize these.
That's right. That's right.
That's right. It'll be fun. He can't use his sticker printer still, but that's okay.
Yeah, if I could, I wouldn't sign it. I would just sign it on the sticker and print it.
He needs a
Print it.
stamp.
Print it. That's right.
All right,
That's right.
Doctor. Tower Chess
All
coming
right.
soon. Probably some other stuff. You know what? Maybe our listeners have some topics they'd like us to cover as well. We've got a long list. We can keep going for a long time. You guys aren't anywhere
You
near
don't even
the
know how
end.
many pages. You don't even know how many pages Bill sent me.
I got a lot. He printed it and he's like, "Oh
Yeah.
my God, this is more than one page." I'm like, "Yes, it is."
For a busy man, he's got a lot of time on his hands,
I didn't say I was busy in all the right ways. I just said I was busy.
obviously.
Doctor, another one in the books.
All right. See ya.